Yamba told me you don't have a PhD. Is that true? Yanbot is an expert on the technical side of this project, but he is totally at sea when it comes to nuances of the human context. So it is true. Hi there. So, did you talk to Kathy already? I did. Unfortunately. What the hell did you do to her? I have no idea what you're talking about. She's defective, unable to utter a single sentence. Only mumbles nonsense. How do you expect me to work with something like that? Let me point out to you that even though Kathy is an artificial construct based on a simulated life path, it does seem inappropriate to talk about her as if she were an object. It doesn't change the fact that she's malfunctioning. I'll check what might be the matter. Good luck with that.
I'd like to draw your attention to something.
You wanted to discuss something? Yes, I have got an idea. Well, plenty of ideas, but there is one thing I would love to bounce off you immediately. That's what I'm here for. Let's hear it. Okay, listen to this. We know that the surface of the planet undergoes dozens of unique processes that must influence its geological structure. One of them is the formation of the oasis, a thing you're looking into yourself. Truly fascinating. But I'm curious about something else. Anomalies. Go on. Well, we don't really know much about them. We've established how each of them can affect us and how we can neutralize them. But what about the planet, huh? Surely anomalies must affect the geological matter they interact with. What exactly are you pitching here? I'm glad you asked. I don't need much. A small workplace, one evening, and a piece of rock harvested from a specific non-neutralized static anomaly. I marked them on the map for you. Wait, what do you mean by non-neutralized? I need the sample to be as pure as possible, uncontaminated by the illuminator's radiation or whatever residue a destroyed anomaly leaves behind. So you want me to run into it and waste an anomaly shield? Well, if that's what you prefer. Or you could just take the radiation surge. It's not that strong. Come on. It's just one evening. We can always abandon the project. I do it all the time. I have to admit, you've sparked my curiosity. Let's give it a try. Awesome. Hey, you'll see. We are going to uncover something spectacular. Hello again.
Yes, yes, told you. The mapping system is... It's...
All right, stop right there. Why don't you calm down and explain everything?
Oh. It's not you. I'm sorry. I thought it was him again.
No. I came to talk to you because the version of me that knew you told me he was having a hard time communicating with you. Care to share your perspective on the nature of the problem?
My perspective? Gosh. I'm not used to being asked that question. Not by anyone named Jan.
Interesting. You seem to be displaying emotions.
Yes. Clearly they're embedded in my algorithms. A strong emotional response to your altar must be fundamental to my psychological architecture. Realizing it's not him but you calmed me down. A noteworthy observation.
He and I are more different than you might expect. You'd think all that distinguishes us is our choice of scientific career. But it's incredible how a simple choice between academic and commercial science can change a person. Or maybe bring out the things they would never be aware of had they chosen a different direction.
No, you're not that different from him. You're simply not as obnoxious towards me. But that might be because you don't yet feel comfortable enough around me. A difference in nurture, not in nature.
Obnoxious? He said you were the one talking nonsense.
Whatever he told you about our conversation, it's true. I became glitchy and useless, and my vocabulary made no sense. I consulted some sources in relationship psychology, and it looks like it's the effect he has on me. Possibly always had in our hypothetical life together, discrediting all I said, only expecting praise for his ideas, taking all the credit for everything we ever came up with together. Apparently, in my memories, he makes me feel so small, I just freeze. It's an involuntary response.
I don't believe it's so simple. I am not a bully, and if I ever was to become the person you described, I'm certain there must have been a reason for it.
Oh,
What?
nothing. It's just, I shouldn't. You sound like him.
I'm sorry. All right? You know what? This has been a very informative experiment. I'd better talk about what we've discovered here with my colleague. In the meantime, please try not to take all of this personally. What I mean is, I need to analyze what's happened here before I can draw any conclusions.
Yes, of course. Which makes me wonder, is taking things personally part of an algorithm, or something I can control? And what does personally really mean in my situation?
To the Saber evacuation.
I checked on Kathy. Did you fix her? No? I figured you're the one who needs fixing here. So that's how you want to talk, huh? You really can't take it, can you? My superiority. Are insults all you have? Why don't you temper your ego for 1 minute and listen to what I have to say? A piece of advice from a sorry replica of a stray altar of a miserable builder stranded in space. How could I refuse? please. What do you have to say? Kathy's core memories imply that she was constantly bullied by you. So much so that even in the form of an algorithm, she gets blocked when you try to pick her brain. The only thing that remains a mystery to me is why on earth did you end up being so nasty to her? I don't need to listen to this crap. Did you know we were a couple once? But she couldn't handle being with someone like me. Did she tell you how jealous she was of me being the brains behind our inventions? How obsessive her reactions were whenever I was doing interviews? Why do you think it set her off like that? Because in fact, she was the brains. And you knew it. You were afraid to let her shine lest people would notice that she's outsmarting you. You were the one jealous of her intelligence, and you had every right to be. Because after she left you, your department stopped being innovative. I told you I wasn't fit to be a manager. I was meant for greater things. Please spare me. After choosing a big tech company instead of a proper academic career, you probably didn't even find the time to complete your PhD thesis. That's enough. I've had enough of your miserable attempts at trying to understand who I am and what I had to go through. You think you're so wise and all-knowing? Well, if you forgot, let me remind you that all you're looking down on is yourself. I'm freeing you of my intrusive company now. Go ahead and become best friends with fake Kathy for all I care.
population throughout the nation. It's expected the bill will outline just what animals will be allowed to be used in the labs, along with penalties for the offenders.
Oh, Vince, a long fly ball, center field. Oh, that's a long one. Bouncing off the back wall. We got it. Looks like he's coming around first base. Oh, that's
Where could he go? He'd probably choose a dramatic scenery, but not too far. The Rocky Valley. The geologist better use that sample properly. I'm not walking into another anomaly for him. I got your anomaly sample. Awesome. Oh, I bet harvesting it was exciting, huh? That's one way to put it. Make it worth my while, okay? Build me my workplace, and I promise I will. What is that noise? It sounds like a suit alarm, but it's not mine. Let's get you back to the base. So worthless.
Hours of steady rainfall have left many homes in the metro area knee-deep in floodwaters.
I'm out of resources, boss. Want me to go there in the meantime? can't work on broken equipment. Should I go there now?
Hello, hello.
John, would you mind checking our food supply?
Actively monitors the ship's surroundings. Modify. Into account most life risks.
Looks like we're running out of repair kits, you know?
I've prepared that research station you wanted. Perfect. Looks like I have all the tools I need. Oh, but there's no place where I could set it up. A corridor would be fine. Could you squeeze one in for me? A corridor? Sure, if that's what you want.
Safer evacuation functionality. Welcome to the safer evacuation functionality. Manual.
I'm on a roll today. So, are you back to your usual self? I suppose that's your fashion of asking me how I feel. Well, I've had plenty of time to think things through. Indulge me. What have you learned? You don't have to rub it in, you know. My humiliation is painful enough. Your thoughts, please, not feelings. Thoughts. Yes. Well, you see, the human mind remains restless until it finds meaning in the chaos of reality. In other words, I need to know that all this wasn't for nothing. You're not saying you want to continue your project, I hope. No, I want to finish it. Find closure. Don't you think we've had enough drama? I took a risk and trusted you about creating Kathy, but it's quite clear to me now that you are incapable of leaving your personal matters out of this affair. I say you forget about the whole thing and never talk to her again. For the good of everyone involved. You really don't understand, do you? I don't want to talk to her. Of course I know she's the smarter one. I always did. But it wasn't trivial jealousy that made me act the way I did toward her. I simply couldn't live with that thought because if she was smarter, it meant that I wasn't good enough. Don't pretend you don't know how terrifying that feels for us. Let's say that I know what you mean. Theoretically. Because that's all our self-esteem or lack of it really is. A theoretical construct. How can you not understand that? The only thing that matters is who we are here. Look, I know Kathy is a simulacrum, but now that we've managed to intersect the tangents of our separate quantum realities, she is part of your life too. Please, before we move on, my request is that you tell her that I'm sorry. And after that, you can tell her all those hurtful things you said to me about how I didn't follow through with my PhD. Never told her or anyone else about it. It's the shameful truth. I turned into a nasty person. Just like you said. Of course, unblocking her creativity will benefit you too. I am pretty sure she can help you more than I ever will. You of all people know best how much I don't like saying it. Maybe I was wrong about your shortcomings. You and Kathy are equally valuable. What was that you told me before about a perfect relationship? 1 and 1 simply do not equal 2, but create a new, unique quality. I meant it in regards to robotics, but now that you put it in this context, I suppose it applies just as well. Yes. And continuing on that expert note, I must say that a closure does seem like an important element of this process. But it won't be me who talks to Kathy. You are going to do it. Otherwise, your change of heart won't mean anything to her. I know that much about feelings. Even if they belong to algorithms. You're right. I have to do it. I think I just needed someone to tell me that. Wish me luck, my friend. Looks like we're running out of repair kits, you know? Hello, hello.
I'd like to draw your attention to something.
Pleasant day, isn't it? I can't wait to hear about your conversation with Kathy. Did you apologize? I did. Somehow. I have to say it was a bizarre feeling. Very new to me. I suppose you don't know it either. Anyway, I think I didn't do so bad for a rookie. How did she react? With disbelief at first, but then she started remembering our good moments when we were just beginning, tossing around ideas, discussing our favorite unsolved mathematical problems. And it got easier from there. For both of us. So, what's your key takeaway? Well, as I like to say, take a look at this. Oh no, please, not this again. I was kidding, okay? And Kathy loved it when I did that, by the way. I can imagine. What about your project? Did she help you remember? Oh, remember, recalculate, improve. It's her invention, really. Elegant and powerful. Looks like I got the smartest girl on the block. Says a lot about me, doesn't it? You're not falling in love with her again, are you? What? Really? Oh, thoughtless infatuation is beneath me. You know that. I never understood the point of speaking about the same thing for years. Ideas get refined when you share them with others. That's why conferences are so exciting. If wasting time's your thing. You wanted to talk about your research? Yes, sir. I analyzed the structure of the rock you brought me and compared it to control samples. The results were astonishing. The static anomaly seems to act as a neutron source, producing a new type of radionuclide. Luckily for us, it seems that their radioactive decay is reasonably slow and they do not undergo spontaneous fission. Meaning we don't have to feel threatened, as long as we don't mess with them too much. Of course, assessing how much is too much is a separate issue. I usually prefer to test it in practice. Okay, I trust your judgment. You seem to have made significant progress in a single evening. Well, discovering a new nuclide is one thing. Uncovering possible uses of it is another. And there could be plenty of them. Many entirely risk-free. Like advanced geological analyses for mining, or nuclear medicine. Huh. Oh. Okay. You convinced me. Perfect. Huh. That's definitely something to keep me going while working on less engaging things.
My hands are tied. We're out of resources. Should I go there?
I'm pleasant day, isn't it? I'm on a roll today. Hey, Yambot. Hello there. What can I do for you on this beautiful day? Do you know what happened to Kathy? Kathy? I don't think I have any knowledge of any... Kathy. A simulated model of the physicist's assistant. She was here, in the same system as you a while ago, and now she's gone. Kathy. Now that you've explained more about who you mean, I do have some information. The software you were inquiring about has been deleted. Deleted? By whom? The algorithm that ensures all conditions are met to increase the success of our project. The Kathy extension consumed between 35 and 60% of my energy needs, and when it was active, my performance fell significantly below average. This posed a hazard that I would make more mistakes than acceptable and jeopardize our efforts. But how could you do such a thing? You are probably referring to the fact that I am just a linguistic model. What can be novel to you is that I do possess a certain degree of agency when it comes to the internal system affecting my performance directly. I realize you held some kind of belief that she may possess what you two discussed as consciousness. Wait, were you eavesdropping on us? What a strangely unreasonable accusation. The Kathy extension was part of my architecture from the very start. I hope you didn't seriously expect to have any private interaction with it, like with another human. Well, grow up, Dulski.
To the safer evacuation functionality. Please ensure that the safe obeys.
I'd like to draw your attention to something.
What is it? Did you make any progress on the potential uses of those radionuclides? Let me guess. As a geologist, you focused on ways to utilize it in underground scanning. Wow, looks like you're really into this. And here I was going to tell you that I kind of stopped being hyper about those isotopes. Are you seriously giving up? A moment ago, you were rambling on about being on the verge of an incredible discovery. I can't believe you're already bored. I simply came to the conclusion that it's not worth the trouble, okay? Hey, but you know what's dope? Prism anomalies. Pardon me? I have a feeling that the area affected by the prism anomaly is somehow changed by the constant superposition. We could open up a whole new field of quantum geophysics. All I need is one little pure sample, and the prism anomaly isn't even radioactive. You in? I'm open to ideas as long as they lead to something. But you don't sound serious about following through with yours. Oh, I am. Dead serious. My instinct tells me that this subject is worth pursuing, and I always trust my instinct.
Yeah.